All right, here we go. Those of you at home, guys, this is our warm-up. Elan's working out and doing different actions, burns different amounts of calories. Read an all-quiz style expression representing how many calories Elan burns if she does 30 push-ups, 20 pull-ups, 50 crunches, and burns 150 calories on a run. Can you modernize this with single letters? You're going to want to pause the video and do that because we are ready to go. I'm going to grab this information here. That sounds exhausting. Sounds exhausting, especially if you do it like all in under 30 minutes or something like that. All right. Behold your future. All right. We'll get there. Okay. So, can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Juliet, what did this look like when you wrote it out just like we did with the pizza? Awesome. Plus 50 times calories in a crunch. Not like a crunch bar. That's different. Plus 150. Beautiful. You know what I love that Juliet did? She did not write down, she did not put any variables by the 150 because we knew how many calories she burned on her run. She burned 150 calories. I love that. Now, let's go ahead and write this out in a simplified form. Let's see here. Sina, how would you write this and replace all these things with one letter?
One letter?
Yes, please.
30A
Okay.
plus 20B
Okay.
plus 50C plus 150.
Love it. Awesome. Did anybody use any different letters? Anybody use different letters for that? Jonathan, what letters did you use? Okay. All right. Totally allowed. I love that. And again, I love that you didn't do P for both the pull-up and the push-up because you can't do that, right? So that's exactly right. Anything like that is perfect. You can use whichever letters you want. Since I didn't tell you what letters to use, you get to pick, right? Perfect. How many of us feel like we've got that? That's not so bad. Awesome. Very good. Beautiful. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Was there a question, though? Did I see a question? We're good. Okay, it is the 18th day of school, and you'll have to help me. I've had some kids who play soccer, and they're like, I've never heard that in my life. And some people are like, oh, yeah. But 18th day in soccer, the penalty area is designated as 18 yards long, which is true. But that's why it's sometimes called the 18. How many of us have heard the 18 referred to as such? Cool. How many of us have never heard it? So it's, you know what? It's one of these things. It's happening. It's happening. It's like somebody started calling it the 18, and more people are learning about it. It's International Sudoku Day. How many Sudoku fans we got out there? I know, I love Sudokus. Hooray. I don't look 2 Sudoku things in a row. I love to see it. Hey, we got quite a few essential questions today, so let's see if we can get through them. Kate, what's our first essential question? Like terms and the distributive property to simplify variable expressions. Okay. Beautiful. Let's see here. What's our second essential question? And I would love to get that from Wahida. How do we play the scoreboard game level 1? Let's talk about that in just a second. And then lastly, Brooks, what's our last essential question?
Who is Mr. Mori and what is he talking
Very good. Let's do it. Let's talk about the scoreboard game first while you're writing those down. Oh, my manners, our Jeopardy. One city, two teams. Chicago has 2 Major League Baseball teams. And they are indeed the Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. That is true. That is 100% true. And then things that smell. Fish in general, but dead fish is perfect because I got you to say fish, and that's all I needed. Let's talk about the scoreboard game, level 1, guys. Level 1 takes us out of practice mode, training mode, and into the real one where there are consequences if we lose, and there are there's a reward if we win. You guys want to know, what do you guys want to know about first, the reward or the consequence? Let's do the consequence first. Let's get the bad news out of the way. So right now, guys, everyone's paying a lot of attention to me or writing down their essential questions. That makes me really happy, and I think you guys do deserve a point for it. Very good. But let's go ahead and say that at the end of the day, the scoreboard game looked like this. I'll erase those in a second, okay? Did we win or did we lose? We lost. By how much? It matters how much we lose by when we lose the scoreboard game. If at the end of the day I see that we have lost by 2, what will happen is after the bell rings, we'll have you guys settle in, put your stuff away, and as soon as everything's calm and quiet, I'll start a timer for 2 minutes before I can dismiss you to lunch. Okay? Then I'll have 2 minutes before I can dismiss you guys to lunch. Now, if it's on like a Friday or you don't have lunch afterwards, there would be 2 minutes before I can dismiss you to get to your next class. Now, there's a question burning in your brains right now. Go ahead by raise a hand and ask that question. Jack? What if it's longer than 5 minutes? Or heck, what if it's longer than 2 minutes, frankly? 3 minutes feels like the absolute max I could even imagine holding somebody, but I've actually never done that. But I want you to think about what this looks like. If we lost by, what would that be? That would be like, yeah, you know what? Even forget it. What if it looked like that? Think about that kind of a day. You know what I mean? Where the whole class was making me so unhappy that this was happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for things that make me unhappy. If anything, when we start losing, I'm looking for things that make me happy. I want to win too. I'm trying to make it happen. But if even after all that, with all this on the line, you're still doing this, we've clearly got a problem. We've clearly got a problem. And what would happen is that if we lost by like anything more than 2, I just hold you for 2 minutes. And then when you returned the next day, we would just have a very uncomfortable conversation about major changes on how we do class. And it's not good for anybody. It stinks. I have definitely had to do that before, and it's not good. But the good news is, guys, I would say that a class loses the scoreboard game once every 2 years. It almost never happens. Like, I think we've lost it once in here, and that's when we're in training mode, and there's no consequences and there's no rewards. So no one's really playing for anything. I think we've only lost once in here, and I'm not really worried about you guys losing. The reward, though, if we win, and it doesn't even matter how much we're winning by, win by 1, win by 2, win by 4, as long as we are not tied or below. When 5 minutes rolls around before the end of class, I will look at the clock and say, okay, that gives me enough time to finish up this last problem, and then the rest of the time is yours. Like the last 5 minutes of class, you hang out in your assigned seats. There will be a way where you can earn being able to come up, like stand up and go sit with a different table. There will be a way for you to earn being able to play a game on your Chromebook or listen to some music or whatever, but that's not starting. Starting level 1, if we win the scoreboard game, the last 5 minutes, you can just hang out in your assigned seat and talk to your partners, okay? Or people nearby. I see a lot of questions. Eden. No, I'm afraid not. Not yet, anyway. That's not till scoreboard game level whatever. I don't even remember. Calvin. Not exactly. We'll get into there when we get that far. Duina. It depends. The highest I've ever made it in a year is 8. Leo. If you're tied, nothing happens. Just a regular class day, and then I just go to the bell and we're done. Okay. Now, our last essential question is, I need to introduce you to Mr. Maury. Mr. Maury is the skeleton who lives in the back of the classroom. Everyone say, hi, Mr. Maury. Mr. Maury knows when everything will die. Even you. All your pets, everyone you know. You can, but he won't tell you. I'll tell you right now, I've asked Mr. Maury so many times. It's like, do you know when I'll die? And he lets me know. He does know. And then I'm like, when? And he won't tell me. He won't tell us anything. The only thing Mr. Maury will tell us is when our skill checks die, because he knows when your skill checks die. And that's when we're going to listen to him. So how he tells us this, guys, is if we look under here, we see under Math 7, 8, compacted, and this will expand as we go. We just took the skill check 1.9 operations on rationals. Now, every skill check dies 2 weeks after it is posted on Focus. How many of you noticed that your skill check landed on Focus last night? How many of you guys noticed that? Yep. And that is why your skill check will die on Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 8 p.m. precisely. Mr. Maury knows this, and he's telling us that. He'll tell us all about when our skill checks die. What's a dead skill check? A dead skill check, guys, means that it is no longer changeable. And Monday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. precisely, whatever score is on Focus for your skill check cannot change unless you made comments before that time, right? If there's a comment at 7:59 p.m. on that Monday, I will accept that comment and adjust your score. But if it comes after that, I will not change anything. I have to draw a line somewhere, and that's where the line lives. Why 8 p.m. instead of midnight? Because I don't want to encourage you to be up past midnight. No, thanks. I want to go to bed at a reasonable time. Let's see here. So the only exception, because after that we won't do any retakes or corrections, the only exception is if you never completed your test, like if you never finished it, we can have you come in and take it, but you'll have to start from the beginning, and then whatever your score is, that's your score, and it cannot change. Okay, so that's a risk. If you're like, I never took it, so I'll just wait until after the deadline. I mean, you have that right. You can come try it, but you won't be able to fix it after. Dueni. Let's do it. Okay. Sure. Hmm. Ouch, but okay. That's that's right. That's right on the wire. Hey, you know what, guys? That's the thing. That is the risk you take. I'll tell you right now. If you want to submit your corrections at 7, I do not even look. I only look to see if it meets the deadline. If you want to submit it at 7:59, that's cool. But you're running a risk because if you're like Mr. Petersen, I had the corrections ready to go. It was 7:59. It's just that my internet was slow. That's why it says 8:01. I am going to have to say I'm sorry. I have to draw a line somewhere, and the line I've selected is 8 p.m. forever. Jack. No, you only have to retake the whole thing if you miss the deadline. So let me know when you're available, and we'll work something out. Melissa, Eden. Two. It's you know what it is. It's 2 calendar weeks. But I tell you what I do is on if there's like a big break in between there, I'll usually put like a week after the break, just to make sure that we have enough time. Okay, perfect. Let's move on, guys. Here we go. Underneath all this, got a pencil? Okay. So, today we're going to talk about the distributive property and combining like terms. Okay. And we're actually going to use our warm-up. So in our warm-up, we came up with this expression. I'm going to write it down, and then whatever letters you used is totally fine, but I'm going to have us use the same letters just so that we can talk about it. It was, let's see here, we're going to do 30, and then we're going to make that H for push-ups, plus 20L for pull-ups, plus 50 crunches, plus 150 calories for a run. That was the expression that we came up with, and now we're just going to use the same variables. What if Elin did this exercise 5 times per week? Absolutely, I think so too. So, if Elin did this exercise 5 times per week, How many calories does she burn not in a day, but in a whole week? If we know that she does this exercise 5 times per week, how could I adjust this expression to represent how many calories she burns in a whole week? Give it a shot, and here we go. Get beastie, Elin! Teach! There you go. Absolutely. Elin's beasting up. That's me. Oh, we're not trying to solve anything. I just want an expression representing how many calories she burns. That's how much she burns in one workout. How many would she burn in 5?
So you put it in parentheses.
Love that.
And then you do multiplication.
Beautiful. Awesome. Can you write that a different way? Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Excellent countdown, guys. I think you guys do deserve a point for that. Thanks so much. Very good. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to show you something that I saw out there, and I want to know what you think of it. Some people did 5 times 30H plus 20L plus 50C plus 150. And what do you guys think? Is that correct or incorrect? I would say that it is. That's incorrect. Let's see if we can figure out why. Let's see here. Credence, what do you think is wrong about that? Yeah. Exactly. That's only if she did 30 push-ups every day and then did the rest of them on like some other day, right? Perfect. So it looks something like this. I'll tell you, it's technically more simplified if you don't put the multiplication sign right there. Some people actually had it, they didn't even bother rewriting it. They just took this and had it over here. That's also technically fine. But simplified, I like to see that number out in front. Now it turns out, guys, that if somebody said, so she burns this many calories when she does her exercise. And you're like, well, how many calories does she burn in a week? If you're just like, I don't know, 5 times that many. How many people feel like that's unsatisfactory? Yeah, I agree. So there's another way to write this that I think feels a little bit more satisfying than just 5 times however much it was. How do you think I could write this in a different way that will feel a little bit more satisfactory? Give it a try and teach. Yeah, not yet. Okay, can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Wahida, what do you think? What could we write instead of just 5 times that many? Yeah, multiply each term. Great use of the word term. That is a piece of math separated by a plus or a minus sign. I love to see that. And so what would that give us? 750? Did you guys get 750 for that? How many of us were able to get an expression that looks something like this? Very good. This is what we call the distributive property. The distributive property says that if I multiply an expression by a coefficient like this, did I make a mistake? Oopsies. Oh, 250. Thank you very much. You know what it was? Is I was making my C and then I turned a 0 and it turned into a C. There we go. And then what that tells us is that if we multiply an expression by a coefficient like this, coefficient being just a number here, we multiply all the individual pieces inside by that coefficient. Let's practice that a couple of times, okay? Let's practice that a couple of times. Try that, and don't let go of this. We're coming back to it. Got a pencil? 8, open parentheses, 3a minus 4b plus 2. If I use the distributive property to expand that expression, expanded form means that I've multiplied it through and it's now just a single expression. What would it be if I took that 8 and I multiplied all the individual pieces? Give it a try and teach. Okay. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? All right. Ira, what would you get for that? Can you be more specific, please? I mean, I'm hoping you were talking to your partners in that time and that you were listening to what they had to say, because I certainly was, and it sounded like they had some good things to say. So let's try that again. What do we get? 5 times 30. No, no. Fast forward a bit. Okay. All right, I need you to pay attention up here for me, okay? Like, I saw you drawing over there, and it's cool. If you do a little bit of doodling while you're paying attention, totally cool. I love seeing doodles on people's notes. But what doesn't work is when stuff like that happens, right? Like, this is, like, you should have been talking to your partners. That's part of our expectations. Let's make sure that that happens in the future. Sophie, what'd you get over there? Awesome. How many of us are able to get 24a minus 32b plus 16? Okay, let's do one more, and then we're going to go back to Elin. That's your first lunchers. Don't panic. Okay, here we go. Got a pencil? Negative 3, open parentheses, 5x plus 2y minus 8z minus 1. What are we going to do with that? And I'm going to tell you guys, this coefficient is a game changer. Teach! Okay. Okay, can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? How many of you were made just a little nervous by this thing, even if just for a moment? Yeah, as you should, right? Because here's the thing. When you actually do this the way that I've just explained it to you, then, Bennett, you said it perfectly. Will you say it? Go ahead and tell me what you got.
I got negative 15x minus negative 6y minus negative 24z minus negative 3.
There's actually one thing I would like to change about it. There's only one thing I would like to change about it. Well, there's actually a lot I would like to change about it, but there's only one thing that's mathematically not where I would like it to be. You're very close. Alex, do you see what it is? Yeah, let's make that a plus. Because the thing is that it was a negative 3 times a positive 2, which is where my negative 6 came from. Now, there it is, guys, in all its disgusting glory. How many of us are looking at that and just thinking, yuck? Yeah, it's yuck, right? So let's go ahead and clean it up. Because remember, negative 15x, if you add a negative, that is the same thing as subtraction. If you subtract a negative, that's the same thing as addition. If you subtract a negative, that's the same thing as addition. Right? We talked a little bit about that. So if you hate that, and that's okay if you do, I'm going to show you something, guys. I'm going to say this sentence a lot, and it drives people crazy. People ask me all the time, Mr. Petersen, is that a minus or a negative? And you know what my answer is? Yes. My answer is yes. Yes. It is, though. When I say yes, I mean it. It is a minus or it's a negative. It depends on what you're doing with it. If you're adding and subtracting, it's a minus. If you're multiplying, it's a negative. So when I think negative 3 times positive 5, I think negative 15x. When I think negative 3 times positive 2, I think negative 6y. This way I clean it up as I go. When I see negative 3 times negative 8, I think positive 24z. When I see negative 3 times negative 1, I think positive 3. Much cleaner. Much cleaner. And it's the symbol to the left that counts. So when I look at this, I think of that as a positive 2y, a negative 1, a negative 8z, a positive 5x. That's how I would do that. Back to Elin. So we discovered not too long ago that Miss Elin has burnt enough calories for 150 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, go ahead and rewrite this, plus 250 crunches, plus 750 calories in a run. But let's say that she's got a race in a week, she's got some kind of an event, and she wants to go into overdrive, and she does Elin's mega workout 2 times. What if I added 2 mega workouts? What's in a mega workout? A mega workout's got 50 push-ups. A mega workout's got 40 pull-ups. A mega workout's got 100 crunches. And a mega workout's got a 300-calorie run. How many calories do you think she's burned total? How can I use this information to write something that looks a little bit nicer? Give it a try and teach. Be right back. Don't worry. I'm not disappearing forever. I just want to make sure this doesn't go somewhere it's not supposed to, so I know I'm covering everything I need to cover. What did I just do? That's me. Yeah, she's doing her mega workout twice. Gesundheit. Because I'm so cool. Okay. Can I get that? It depends on how what her fitness level is. All right, let's do it, guys. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? I got 2 more things to talk about for sure. Voices off, please. In the interest of time, let me show you how you do this. I'm going to distribute this 2 into the parentheses. That means that just in her mega workouts, she did 100 push-ups, she did 80 pull-ups, she did 200 crunches, and she burned 600 calories in a run. That's in addition to her normal weekly workout of all this. Right, plus those 2 extras. So this, I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way this looks. I would like to clean that up a little bit. we can do that, guys, because how many push-ups did she do here? How many did she do here? For a total of 250 push-ups. How many pull-ups did she do total? 180. I can put these together because a pull-up's a pull-up. If she burns L calories doing a pull-up, she does 100 over that week, and then she does 80 over the mega workout week, then she's good to go. 250 crunches plus 200 crunches is 450 crunches. We don't forget the C. 750 plus 600 is 1,350. Whew. And there it is. Yep, exactly. If they have the same variable, we can add and subtract them together. If they don't have the same variable, we can't. We can multiply and divide anything, but we're not going to worry about that a little bit later, okay? In fact, much later. I think that's like, not even next year. It's like the year after that we're doing that. Let me show you something that this tricks people every time. Got a pencil? 3, open parentheses, 2a minus 4b plus c minus 9, close parentheses, minus 2, open parentheses, 2a plus 4c minus 2. This is as bad as it's going to get. To do something like this, and we are in the last 5 minutes, so we're going to make this the last one, but in the interest of time, let me take care of it. The first step is just to multiply through, just like this, right? So that becomes 6a minus 12b plus 3c minus 27. Now, I've got a question for you. Is that a minus 2 or a negative 2? Yes. Yes! The answer is yes! Which means, well, that's true, because if we're adding and subtracting, we would think of it as minus. But we're not doing that yet, because I'm actually multiplying it. I'm multiplying that through, and when I'm multiplying it, I consider it a negative. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. When I'm multiplying it, I think of it as a negative. If I'm adding and subtracting, I think of it as a minus. Now we can start collecting our like terms. 6a minus 4a is 2a. Negative 12b, oh, there's nothing there. So, negative 12b indeed. It stays where he is. 3c minus 8c, 3 minus 8, so that's going to act like subtraction. 8 minus 3 is 5. It's a negative, so negative 5c's. And negative 27 plus 4 is going to act like subtraction, and the answer is going to be negative. 27 minus 4 is 22. No, 23. So minus 23. Open up your planners to page 36. Yeah, 36. 36. Okay. 36. Alrighty. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? On page 36, guys, you're going to go ahead and write 2.1. That is distributive. And like terms, I did assign that today. I know we kind of went fast today. Can I get those voices off on the left side, please? Stage left. So, I know that that went a little bit fast. Go home, look at these. You're going to see that most of them aren't that bad. Come back with some questions, and we'll deal with them then. Then, if you like, guys, in case you're curious, the day that our skill check dies is on page 40. So if you like to, on page 40, on the 22nd, you can write that 1.9 expires, and then maybe draw a little skull by it. He's got his thumbs up. Okay. That's going to do it, guys. You can go ahead and hang on in your assigned seat.